Are your kids ready to step into the business? If you run a family-owned business, you may be asking yourself this question: when are my kids going to be ready to take over the empire? In this video, we're going to talk about just that: how to know when your kids are ready to take over your business. So first and foremost, you have to know what role that you, the business owner, are playing inside of the business. How involved are you in the day-to-day of the business, of the operations? What hats do you wear? What is your role and responsibility? So whenever I go through this exercise with the owner of a family-owned business, I ask them to do this exercise. Keep a notepad or a note on your phone, and as you go throughout a week or two, write down every email you answered, every decision you made, every phone call, every meeting. Really just be super mindful about what it is that you're doing in your role. Because eventually, we're going to ask the person succeeding you to do those same things. And in many cases, your role might be 3 or 4 different roles. You have to know this, especially as a business owner. Chances are you got very good at finances and HR and doing the work and doing sales and marketing and reading copy, you name it. So if you're asking a person to step in to succeed you, we have to know exactly what this person will be doing in your absence. And we want to know if what you've been doing is one job or multiple jobs. Once we have this list, then we can begin the process of training the next person. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have had an adult child working inside of your business close to you, side by side, chances are they've been observing you, they've been taking notes, they know how you operate, and hopefully they can hear you in their head thinking, mom or dad would have handled this situation this way. This is how we speak to our vendors and our customers and our partners. This is how the business was built. That is a great thing. And it takes time to teach people these things. So if you want one of your children to step in and run the business, you have to consider how long will that child need to be in the business to watch, to learn, to be trained, to be mentored, to eventually to where they can take over this role and run the business better than I ever could in my absence. That is really the objective. We don't want someone to manage the status quo. We want them to take the business and grow it to new heights so that the business can continue to thrive in your absence and grow for them to build new generational wealth for the kids underneath them. Now, you can't run a business indefinitely. We talk about this a lot. At some point in time, you will need to step out of the business. You have a few choices, not infinite choices. You can sell the business. You can sell the business to competitors, employees. You can downsize the business. You can shut down the business and sell off the assets, but eventually you're going to need to make some major decision with the business. So if you want your child to step in and run the organization, that is a major decision. The best thing to do is to start having the conversation much earlier rather than far too late. And what do I mean by far too late? When there's a disease or a major illness or some other unfortunate event happens and no one knows what to do in your absence. Why not start training your successor much sooner rather than later? And if you don't have kids, naturally you're going to have to find a successor if you want to keep the business operational. Typically those are managers and whatnot. But in this instance, for this content, we're talking about your kids. Now, of course, there's family dynamics and family politics. So you have to get around those internal conflicts and conversations and get yourself to a point to where you have a child or two inside of the business and they say, yes, we will be taking this over. We know what our role and responsibility will be. We know what the expectations of the business are. We're fully trained and mentored and we're ready to go. Now, in the best scenario, you're able to have a longer transition out of the business, a slower succession, so you can stay on board and keep a watchful eye and train and mentor. And eventually over time, this adult child has the keys, they have the reins, and they know exactly what to do. In far too few scenarios, this is not the case. The child gets the business, they become overwhelmed, they were not prepared to run the business in the full absence of the parent, and the business starts to slowly decline. We want the opposite situation to occur, and the best way to do this is to be well prepared, to have lots of open, transparent conversations around the transition and the exit, and then just to go for it. And last but not least, we have to trust the person stepping in. We have to know when the child has the reins and they fully got it. The adult child says, you know what? I'm ready. I'm trained. I got this. I now have the keys. I'm ready to build and grow this company to new heights. You do not want to hover and continue to micromanage keeping this person operating the business at the status quo in which you had it. You want them to take the business, take new risks, make new investments, and continue to scale and grow. That is the objective of business, to always build, scale, grow, contribute to new economies, create new jobs, and build future generational wealth. So if you're considering getting out of the business and having one of your adult children step into the business and you want some support, you want to talk to somebody about this, we're more than happy to talk about it anytime, lend an ear, and just provide some third-party perspective. Now, if you like this video and you want more content like it, please like, comment, subscribe below, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks.